I was just 18. I never knew my stepmother hated me this much. That day, she smiled and said, "There's a very good proposal for you. You're getting married." Her words sounded kind, but the truth hit me like a storm. She had sold me for money. Just like that, my life was no longer my own. I wasn't a daughter or a girl with dreams anymore. I was something to be traded, used, and discarded. Standing there in my bridal dress, my heart pounded with fear I had never known. I didn't know where I was going, who I was going to, or how my wedding night would unfold, but I knew nothing would ever be the same again. The wedding hall looked perfect on the outside. The man I was supposed to marry was not kind. His eyes were sharp, cold, and calculating. That night, after the ceremony, I was led into a decorated room with roses and candles. My hands were shaking, my throat dry, as the door closed behind me. He came in slowly, not with tenderness, but with a cold smirk. Without saying a word, he reached behind me, pulled at the zipper of my gown, and opened it like I was a toy being unwrapped. His touch wasn't love, it was ownership. He forced himself on me, ignoring my tears, my cries, and the way my body shook in fear. On what was supposed to be my wedding night, I was broken, treated like an object, stripped of my dignity. My dress lay torn on the floor, my hair a mess, my heart shattered. Before I could even process what happened, I was dragged away in a dark van, my body trembling, my soul screaming. The ride seemed endless, the night pressing in on me. And when the doors finally opened, I found myself in a sprawling, dark mansion. Inside were other girls, silent, broken, some crying, some numb. This wasn't a home, it was a cage. Then he appeared, the gang leader. He was tall, broad, with eyes that carried a storm inside them. I thought he would be like the others, cruel and unfeeling. But when his eyes fell on me in my torn bridal dress, something inside him shifted. "Keep her here," he ordered. "She stays safe." Safe in this place? I didn't understand. But instead of being thrown into the same despair as the others, I was taken to a small, clean room. For the first time since my wedding, I felt the faintest flicker of safety. Days passed. He visited sometimes, not to touch me, not to use me, but simply to check in. He brought food, money, even small words of comfort. His presence was intimidating, but never cruel. I couldn't understand why. One night, I finally asked, my voice trembling, "Why are you helping me?" "You didn't have to." For a long moment, he was silent. Then he spoke, his voice softer than I ever imagined it could be. "Years ago, I was in love. She was everything to me. But one night, she was taken, sold. Just like you. I searched for her everywhere, but I never found her. I don't even know if she's alive." His jaw clenched, his eyes dark with pain. "When I saw you, in that bridal dress, I remembered her. I remembered what I lost. And I couldn't let the same thing happen to you." My chest ached at his words. He wasn't saving me because he saw me as weak, but because he once knew the same kind of loss and couldn't let it happen again. He offered me a job as a maid. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. I worked, cleaned, and served, but unlike before. No one touched me, no one hurt me. And slowly, my fear began to turn into trust. One evening, as the rain hit the windows, I asked him again, "Why me? Why protect me?" He looked at me, his voice steady but filled with sorrow. "Because you remind me that love can be pure, and that even in this darkness, I can protect at least one person from being destroyed." Tears filled my eyes. For the first time in months, I didn't feel like an object. I felt human again. Weeks turned into months. I wasn't the broken bride anymore. I was Emily, a survivor. Someone who had endured pain but refused to let it define her. And through it all, he was there not as a captor, but as a protector, a reminder that even in the cruelest places, kindness could still exist. One evening, I whispered, "Thank you for everything, for not letting me disappear." He gave me a faint smile. "You owe me nothing, just to keep living. Don't let the darkness win." I smiled through my tears. My wedding day had been stolen, my innocence betrayed, but I had survived. I had been seen, protected, and given a chance to rebuild. And in that moment, I realized that even when the world is cruel, even when you are sold and left in darkness, there is always a sliver of light, sometimes in the most unexpected places, with the most unexpected people. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing for sure. I was no longer a girl who could be broken. I was Emily, and I had survived.